Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm Elisa. I just split the deck and I got Three of Cups and the Six of Wands. So this speaks to like reuniting with your tribe or your people, or reunion and the victory. So that's interesting. But I'm just gonna keep shuffling and I'm gonna get my cards. I kind of woke up in the middle of the night. This energy was super intense. And the weird thing was, like, okay. Okay. The weird thing was that, like, I was really kind of like, I kept thinking about the whole thing with Russia, and like, this thing that came to me was just sort of the whole idea of karma, because it's just sort of like the intention that was put out there was to sort of like destroy the power structure of Ukraine so that they could kind of take it over. But like, the crazy thing that's happening is, even though Russia is just like this superpower, or a fading superpower, there's this karmic thing that's happening where that like energy is coming back to them, which like nobody would have ever thought that would happen, because that was such this established power. But like, it's crumbling from within, you know, and there's more and more evidence like sort of coming out every day. And yesterday this whole thing came out about how like Vladimir Putin is getting like false intelligence because nobody wants to tell him the truth, you know, and this is like causing miscalculations. And it's so funny because this has totally come up in the readings too. Just talking about the truth, like justice coming for the truth tribe. I think that it's in one of those readings. But I don't know what that has to do with this reading, but that's kind of this thing that came up to me when I woke up. Definitely intense energies. It's still kind of like new moon energy right now. So, but when I picked out the cards, I got the Nine of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and we have this bold move. So it's sort of like someone is kind of stuck in this energy, you know. There's just like fear and anxiety that's keeping someone up. And then there's like this Four of Pentacles, which is kind of like holding on to what you have. You're kind of like there's like a fear of letting it go, you know. But that's what it's going to take to change. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands, which is kind of like making a bold move, you know. And it's like sort of like that's kind of maybe what's going to need to happen in order to like break the power structure. But that's what this person is like maybe afraid of, you know. So it's like maybe kind of having to like face your biggest fears. But when I pull down the card on the big move, we have movement, like moving forward. Like that's what it's going to take to move forward, is a bold move. So it's an interesting message. I'm going to keep going. Oh my gosh. Okay, so when I split the deck on the Mystical Shaman, I got Middle World and I got Arrow. So this is kind of a similar message. The Arrow is kind of like when you're sort of like in alignment with, when you're in alignment, sorry, I got this message on my phone. When you're in alignment with your highest destiny, or, you know, with the truth and your highest destiny, when you kind of like release your arrow into the universe and set your intention out there, it's gonna hit its mark. And then we have the middle world, which this is kind of like the three-dimensional bubble of reality. So this is really interesting because I keep getting these messages. I keep getting these messages. So that probably has something to do with it. But like, this is kind of how we experience a physical three-dimensional world around us. And it's like there's this bubble of reality, and interestingly there's all these birds that kind of like represent the truth in this bubble of reality. And so it's almost like it's time to kind of like put your intention out there in the real world. In other words, it's time to make a move, you know? So let's see, when I pull the next card on the arrow, because maybe we can get some clarity about the move, we have the journey and we have the crow. Okay, so it seems like whatever this truth is that's coming out is part of your, it's part of the journey. So, or part of a person's destiny. So that's really interesting, because it's like when we relate it back to the whole Ukraine crisis and, you know, Vladimir Putin, it's sort of like both Zelensky and Putin's destinies are like inalterably being impacted by this truth that's coming out. Like, I mean, it's kind of elevated Zelensky to the world stage, and then Putin, you know, it's not clear what his destiny is, but he's definitely falling into this sort of like path of like an autocratic dictator. I'm gonna pull down. There's my mom. Hi, good morning. Ohio. Ohio gozaimasu. Okay, I'm gonna come down and make us some tea in like 5 minutes, okay?
Okay, then I'm going to. Okay.
Okay, I'll be right there. Okay, so Ohio gozaimasu means good morning, Japanese. So, yeah, it's first thing in the morning right now. Okay, so anyways, I'm just looking to see what we have under the three-dimensional reality. We have, oh my gosh. Okay, so we have the seer, which is to follow your inner guidance. We have the mystical shaman, which is someone who is in alignment with their highest good, with the truth. And then that person is going to be like led on this path of their destiny, and everything that they is going to need, everything they need is going to come to them. They're in like a state of flow. And we have lightning, which is like a tower moment. And it's also just sort of like this truth being revealed, or some sort of like illumination that's going to cause like a total shakedown of the present reality. So, I mean, this looks pretty huge. And it's almost like this person it's like almost like they're kind of in like this state of being oppressed, because they're just kind of like holding on to what little that they have. But really what the bold move that needs to happen is that the truth needs to come out, so that they can like be liberated from whatever the situation is that's oppressing them. So I'm going to Intuitive Goddess. I'm going to pick a couple cards from here, and we'll see what we get. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right, so we have the Eight of Swords, so there's this fear. So it's like this person is having to maybe face their fears in order to step into this destiny, because it's just like this fear is blocking this person from seeing the way forward. But this is an energy that has to get moved through. So it's just like, it just has to be done. So we have the 4, the Monarch, which is like the Emperor in the traditional deck. We have the 7 of Cups. We have the 9 of Pentacles. And we have the Fool. So it's like, this is like, what I'm kind of getting from this is just like this person, this independent energy that's kind of financially stable and has their stuff together. They're like independent and they're self-sufficient, you know. It's like this is their highest destiny, but there's like all this confusion that's like blocking them, and they need to take a leap of faith. This is like the Fool card. In order to reach that, they need to make a bold move to move towards that destiny, which is what's really their highest destiny. However, what the cards are kind of saying is that the time to make that move is now. So I am going to go to Everyday Tarot and see what we get here. Okay. Interesting. Oh my gosh, I got the Fool on top of the Fool. Okay, so at the bottom we have the 3 of Cups, which is like, you know, being reunited with your tribe, which is the message that we kind of got at the beginning. Oh, this card fell out. I don't know where this came from. But we got this Knight of Swords. So this message coming through of truth or clarity, which is going to change things. And we have this Star. So like, this is a card of healing, but also a card of someone like being recognized. You know, we have this 4 of Pentacles again, which kind of suggests that this oppressed person who's kind of fearful might be this person, this self-sufficient 9 of Pentacles person, you know. It's like they have all the potential there. They have, you know, all the skills, and it's kind of their moment. They're a little bit afraid, maybe based on whatever past experiences that they have. But we got the Fool on top of the Fool, which is sort of like, this is the moment to take a leap of faith. And it's like, it's confusing because like maybe this person is being recognized, but they're being elevated like to this Emperor status. But it's going to require that they take a leap of faith to get there. So, okay, so I'm going to go to Queen of the Moon because it is a new moon that's happening. And we're going to get a couple final messages for this reading. But yeah, it's a new day. Ohayou gozaimasu. It's time. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So we have beauty. So like whatever's happening, it's beautiful and it's like meant to be. And it's like this, like, it's kind of like this karmic blossoming and is supported by the universe. We have creation and we have balance. So it's like things are being brought into balance, and there's a new situation, a new day dawning. Ohayou gozaimasu. And it's beautiful. So keep the faith. It's like face your fears. Now is the time.